Hey everybody, I am back, and this time I've got a new disc throwdown. I've got the Innova Sonic versus the Innova Polecat. In particular, these are the versions that have come out in star plastic, particularly Halo Star plastic. And this one here is the Tour Series edition for Garrett Gerthy, and this one is just a Halo Polecat. So in this video, I'm going to compare and contrast these two discs, and the bulk of what I'm going to demonstrate is actually here in my side yard. I've got about 100 feet to work with, and that's primarily where I think these two discs shine. Let's take a look at them. So we already know what the similarities are between these two discs. They're essentially lids, and they're both designed for short distance approach shots and for occasional putting. They both come in star plastic, Halo Star plastic specifically, and in particular these are both black and gray with different colored foil stamps. And of course these are a little bit more rare in terms of availability. Now let's take a look at some of the physical differences. So as you can see on this Sonic here, it has this sort of ridges here along the side. It's also a very domey putter, whereas this Polecat is extremely flat in terms of its flight plate with no additional character added, you might say, in terms of the ridges, or whatever these are technically called, ribs. But you can see there's a little bit more of a difference. In terms of height, the Sonic is a little bit taller, and when you put them side by side, this bottom part of the rim is a slight bit higher. You can see what their shape is in terms of their rim profile, and you can see that this is generally more domey, and in my experience this is more glidey, but it also is more understable or less stable. These are both very attractive. I think it's great that these are in premium plastic, because the downside of the DX versions of these lids is they are a lot more flimsy and less stable. And just so you know, I have the original versions in DX plastic. In fact, this Sonic here is the very first disc golf disc I ever owned. It was given to me by my friend David, and this is 147 grams in, of course, DX plastic, and it's very flimsy, and it's very understable. In fact, I couldn't even putt with this at short distances because it would turn in flight, and also it's not very good for a throwing disc, which is something that I can't say for this. This actually responds the way I want a disc to respond, and I'm very happy with it. And of course we have this Polecat, the original, this DX Polecat. This is a very fun disc to use, but honestly I wasn't as interested in using it until I heard there was a Halo Star version, and quite frankly I think this is a better disc simply because of the more premium plastic, and that it'll hold its shape longer and become not as unstable over time. And I think the same with this Sonic. I think both of these are very good to throw and to sometimes putt. With that said, let's go look at the putting and throwing footage. In this series of tests at 33 feet, I'm going to throw the Sonic first and the Polecat next. And I'm going to do this in every single attempt at putting and throwing. Now we're at the edge of the distance that I can putt. I'm going to try to get these as close to the basket as I can with attempted putting, and then I'm going to do a few throws. Again, I'm going to start off with the Sonic. And now I'll do some backhand throws. That was literally the next take after the previous one. For some reason, I'm having more of a connection with the Sonic and putting it in the basket. I've objectively had more success with this Sonic so far. To be fair, I'm not throwing or putting into a headwind. I've got a slight right to left cross when I do have wind. I do notice at this distance it's slightly easier to turn over the Sonic. And now the real test for a noob like myself, the sidearm. I threw them basically the same. They landed right on top of each other, just like that. Despite user error, these are flying roughly similar to each other, but some of the differences are more easily noticed. Just so you can see my forehand grip, this is how I'm throwing it. Okay then, I need more spin. I adjusted the GoPro slightly. Hopefully this will capture a little bit better. Put a little extra mustard on that one. I've moved back to 100 feet from the basket, and now I'm going to do some backhand throws. One thing I'm finding so far is I don't generally overshoot the basket too much or fall too short. Mostly my issue is left or right. These tend to control their descent pretty well. I am trying floaty bids with more air and a little more power. For some reason, when I'm trying to throw the Sonic hyzer, it's coming out flat. When you throw this Sonic on a hyzer in a direction, it'll still hold flat in that direction. It'll fly straight. These are not as good for forehand as they are for backhand. When you introduce wobble to these through a throw that doesn't have enough spin, they become less reliable, more particularly with this Sonic here. If you're like me with a weak forehand, I think the Polecat is a little bit better for you. The Sonic is still good, but this does not react as well to flutter as this does. The key with this Sonic is to generate enough spin and to throw it on enough of a side hyzer angle if you want it to go straight. But if you turn your wrist even a slight bit, it will turn over. In short, for someone like myself with a novice level forehand, I would not use the Sonic. I would, however, consider the Polecat. Now let's go inside and I'll give you my closing thoughts. I think the flight numbers are largely correct with these two discs, but only at higher speeds. At short range, there isn't much of a difference between the Sonic and the Polecat in terms of stability, and I can see why a lot of people like Garrett Girthy or Robbie C swear by these for a short range approach game, or as catch discs before playing a round of disc golf. I think Innova should make more of both of these discs and give more people a chance to improve their upshot and short range throwing game. I think these are good discs, and I'm still evaluating which one of these I'm going to take with me on the course, or if I'm going to make room for both of them. Gabe from No Chains Needed recorded a competition round between his Halo Sonic and Polecat putters, so I highly recommend you watch his video and see how that plays out. I'll leave a link to that in the video description below. Please subscribe to his channel as well if you haven't already. It's a good one. And my next video on this channel will be a best throw round I have with these two discs. You won't want to miss it. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, as I have more unique disc golf content on the way. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.